All right, guys, we are back, and yes, I'm still under the weather, guys. As you can hear, my voice is still raspy. I'm going to start a fruit cleanse tomorrow, a 7-day fruit cleanse. Hopefully, get myself back to 100%. I got to be honest with you guys, I'm not used to being sick like this, so I'm feeling terrible. But I'm dedicated to getting you guys the latest news in the sport of boxing. So let's talk about the fight last night. I did get a chance to sit down and watch it earlier today. And we're talking about, of course, Jaime Munguia versus John Ryder. Jaime Munguia making a huge statement last night in the fight, doing something that Canelo Alvarez was not able to do in his fight with John Ryder. He stopped John Ryder in the ninth round, guys. And let me tell you, I was very impressed with the performance from Jaime Munguia. He looked like a different fighter to me, a completely different fighter. And I think we got to take our hat off to Freddie Roach for adding some new wrinkles to Jaime Munguia's game. I saw Jaime Munguia working behind the jab. I saw a Jaime Munguia that was up on his toes. I saw a Jaime Munguia who had great upper body movement and not just flinging wild punches. He was able to drop John Ryder in the second round with a right hand. I think he also dropped him in the fourth round with a left hand. And twice he dropped him in the ninth round before. Well, John Ryder did get up in the ninth round, and his team threw in the towel after Jaime Munguia jumped back on top of him. I think the Achilles heel for John Ryder was getting in the ropes. Once he was in those ropes, Jaime Munguia let loose on John Ryder. So he should have kept the fight in the middle of the ring, and he didn't do it, and he paid a huge price for that. Now, I thought John Ryder did some good work in the middle rounds. He was doing a lot of counter punching. His right hand was on point, but that really wasn't enough to keep Jaime Munguia off of him. Jaime Munguia, pretty much dominated the whole fight. And like I said, I was highly impressed with Jaime Munguia. Now, I know a lot of people are calling for Jaime Munguia to face off against Canelo Alvarez this May, and I can understand that. I think he deserves a fight with Canelo Alvarez. I also think that he is probably the perfect opponent for Canelo Alvarez to prepare himself for David Benavidez, because honestly, I think he's going to fight David Benavidez in September. I think a lot of the pressure has been mounting on Canelo Alvarez to face David Benavidez, and I think he's going to do it. I think he's just been saving it for last. Now, we know, let's be real, Jaime Munguia is not going to get a shot because Canelo Alvarez is signed to a 3-fight deal with the PBC. He's on his second fight, and we know that Charlo is next up to bat. No matter if you don't like it or not, that's probably going to be the next fight. I would say this fight a few years ago would have made perfect sense before all the stuff that's been going on with Charlo has been going on. The mental health issues, the issues with his spouse, just a number of different things, being out of the ring for over 2 years, just a lot of different things. I don't know if he is the same guy. Now, I will admit, he put on a pretty good performance against David Benavidez's brother, Jose Benavidez Jr. But let's face it, Canelo Alvarez is a different animal. Canelo Alvarez is on a different level. So we'll see what happens in that fight. I do give the edge to Canelo Alvarez in that fight to win. I don't think Jamal will come to lay down in the fight. I don't think he'll play the fight like his brother did. I think he has a little bit more dog in him than that, just looking at his last fight. We saw what happened with Jamal. He didn't even try to fight. He was in survival mode the whole time. I think Jamal is going to give Canelo Alvarez a fight, but I don't think, his best is going to be good enough for Canelo Alvarez. Now, let me play this clip from Oscar De La Hoya talking about they need a good old-fashioned Mexican showdown. And he's basically, hyping up his fighter, Jaime Munguia and David Benavidez to face off against Canelo Alvarez. Let me play this little clip here.
Because I believe is going to fight Charlo again. I believe in May. That's what I heard. Can somebody... oh, he's fighting the brother. Okay, well, yeah, so... So, yeah, so I'm thinking, okay, Canelo's going to walk right through him, and hopefully he can set up an all-Mexican showdown for September. We haven't seen an all-Mexican showdown at an elite level since Eric Morales, Barrera, Marquez. You know, I'm a gringo. I'm a gringo.
So you guys heard it there. He thinks, he knows, well, in his heart he knows, and we all know that Charlo is next. He's on the PBC. He's going to fight Charlo next. But then Oscar De La Hoya is calling for an all-Mexican showdown. I think it's going to happen. I think there's been a lot of pressure on Canelo Alvarez to face David Benavidez. I don't think it's going to be Jaime Munguia. I think it's going to be David Benavidez who gets the shot. He's been waiting in the wings for a long time. I think he deserves a shot. And, you know, the WBC has to be true to their word. You know, give David Benavidez his shot that he deserves. Now, whether David can beat Canelo Alvarez or not, I don't know. You know, we have to see the fight. Anything can happen. It's boxing. But I think David Benavidez is in September, and I think Charlo is in May. And Jaime Munguia, who knows? There's some great fights out there for Jaime Munguia. If he doesn't get the Canelo Alvarez fight, of course. There's David Morrell out there. There's Edgar Berlanga out there. Caleb Plant. There's a number of guys at 168 that Jaime Munguia can mix it up with. But like I said, great performance by Jaime Munguia. Very impressed. We'll see what happens with his career next. But as far as Canelo goes, I think it's Charlo next, then David Benavidez in September. All right, so you guys let me know what you think about the fight last night. What do you think next for Jaime Munguia? What do you think's next for Canelo Alvarez? You guys let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.